Let's talk gun violence now. We know that there are specific flashpoints where we see an increase in cold-blooded killings, mass killings and gun violence. Certainly KwaZulu-Natal, mostly in and around Durban, is an absolute hotspot for these types of killings. The province has become something of a hub of gun crime in the country in recent months, with daylight assassinations taking place. It's actually almost becoming the norm. And of course, crime is also impacting not only lives, but also livelihoods. eNCA senior reporter Dasen Thathiah has been on the ground today, just getting a sense of the impact of this kind of crime.
Durban residents are already concerned about the ongoing shootings and other forms of violence that are playing out in different parts of the city. But there is also another implication, and that's for business. In February, rap star aka Antebelo Motswane was shot dead outside the Wish restaurant on Florida Road. Now this week, the owners of that particular establishment are saying that they're closing their doors because of the bad publicity that their establishment has received in the weeks following that particular shooting. I'm now joined by Udeen Singh, who's with the Durban Chamber's Safety and Justice Forum, to unpack some of these issues. We're looking at the impact of the violence that's playing out on our streets here. It's happening in very public places, around businesses, and surely that can't be good.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the biggest issues that we're facing is that the fact that I think the first thing I want to say is that Durban Chamber condemns these shootings. It is heinous crimes, and what is the sad part is these crimes are being done, like you've mentioned, in industrial, commercial areas, etc., which creates a poor perception about security in the province. And also you also have this, crime in this instance can actually impact businesses, like you said. Yeah. Restaurants will close, businesses will want to move because they're not happy about the crime situation of the area. Yeah. And I mean, you can only imagine that KZN in particular, we had to deal with COVID-19. We had to deal with the July unrest, and we had to deal with the April floods that we had, So while still dealing with that, we're having brazen shootings in the public. So it appears that these criminals are not fearful to be seen in public. What does that mean for us? Does it mean they have this thing of feeling they got impunity for doing these things in the public? So really we are concerned about it.
The police minister a few days ago said that he wanted his officers to check if the so-called problems of Cape Town are not becoming the problems of Durban and Johannesburg, and he's referring particularly to the issue of drugs. And that seems to be one of the reasons why we're seeing this violent crime play out here in Durban. What do you think can be done, or what is the call from business to try to ensure that operations can continue as normal without being intimidated by this?
Yeah, I think you're dead right. Generally in certain areas, in drug operating areas, you would see that certain restaurants will need to pay a fee, in order for safety and security for themselves. And what we encourage businesses not to do that, because you're actually promoting crime, so we encourage that. We also encourage the businesses to actually, increase their security in the area. Increase the, in instances where you see crime, the CCTV footage is not of the best quality. Yeah. Better your CCTV quality in the area. Partner with the neighborhood watchers. Partner with the police so they can have more visible partnership policing in the area. So the emphasis on partnership, because as much as we as business is trying to operate to keep the economy going, I think it's about the partnership with the various authorities so we can bring crime down.
And lastly, Mr. Singh, you brought me here for a particular reason. You were saying that, when we're talking about lawlessness, we're not just talking about random shootings taking place in the street. We're also talking about the fact that there are so many illegal activities that just happen, and it's almost an open secret in Durban. Just tell me more about this particular area that we're in Maiden Wharf.
Yeah, so this particular area, it's a corner of Moore Road and Maiden Wharf Road. We have a lot of homeless people in this area, and we have a lot of businesses also in the area. And I think the crimes that we see in this particular area is when people are crossing over the road, they've been robbed, they've been stabbed, and even raped in certain instances, So serious heinous crimes are being committed in this area. We've also seen drive-by shootings where we have people that we've heard instances where people have been robbed, and it's sort of like a revenge attack, and they come and just shoot people randomly, and it's really a terrible situation that we be in. We have a partnership in place to clean the area with Metro Police, DSW, Urban Improvement Police, the UIP. We have them here. They come once a week. But like I mentioned to you, it's a social issue of homelessness in this area, and if we do not deal with that problem, we'll continue to see crime grow in this space.
And this is also a particular concern because this is one of the economic hubs.
100% the port is here. I mean, the most busiest port in Africa, so it's sitting here. And what we also see is that traffic lights are no longer existent, although they're here. They don't obey it because they're worried about smash and grabs. You know, they're worried, trucks that are passing here, we call it slash and grabs. They slash and they grab. Yeah. You know, that's why you call it slash and grabs. And it's a real concern in this area because unfortunately there's a lot of unemployment, nobody's working and they need to eat, and they find means to do it.
Thank you very much. Eugene Singh there from the Durban Chamber. But one thing that's becoming clear is that there is going to be a lot more of a need for a community involvement, and in this particular case, the business involvement in working with law enforcement agencies to try to deal with the rampant crime that seems to be taking over the city. I'm Dasen Thathiah in Durban.